we got some more community made shard cards to judge, and some of these make me want to vomit. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and if you recall last week or the week before, I made a video discussing the first 10 finalists in the community made card event. Well, we just got the next 15 finalists, rounding out the first half of the 50 cards that we're going to be able to vote on starting on May 21st. So let's take a look at these 15 cards and see just why I think you should need a license to procreate. The very first card is called Crab Walk, and this one would give you a plus 30% movement speed when walking sideways. And at first this sounds like a great card until you realize that people would just jiggle peek the ever-loving fuck out of you with their sniper rifle. But I don't want the actions of a few to ruin a good card for the rest. This is actually a pretty good idea, and I wouldn't mind seeing it in the game. The next card is called Toad Planter, and this card would give the person who picks up the converter a little toad friend who then eats the converter and hops towards the site to plant. Kind of similar to Throw to Plant in a way, except I'm not sure I'd trust a toad with a converter. I mean, I barely trust the other 4 teammates I get with it, let alone something that's probably going to be one shot. So maybe not a great idea on this one. The next card is called Water Gun, and this card has the weirdest explanation, and I'm not even going to try to understand what all this is saying, but basically it sounds like you just run around with water guns shooting people. Sounds silly, but this game is all about silly sometimes, so maybe one I wouldn't mind coming to the game as long as it's not in ranked. We already have enough cards that need to get removed from ranked, don't add to it. Next card is Happy Birthday, and this one makes enemies carry a balloon above their head, and popping it does N damage based on how many points you put in the card times 15. So this could be up to 75 damage. Sounds like a cool idea, and this could also give away people using those stupid head glitches. So I'm actually all in for this card. The next one is called Hover Loot, and this would allow you to obtain weapons or items on the ground from a distance by hovering over them. When the fuck are you going to be hovering? Does this mean like looking at the item from a distance and picking it up? Because if that's what it means, then sure, sounds like a good idea. If you're just going to be actually hovering, like floating over them, then no. Next card is Quick Switch, and this one seems exactly like the new Expert Juggler card we just got, or am I crazy? I'll throw them up side by side on screen so you can see the description of them both, but I thought it was the same thing. The next card is called Hacker, and this would have teams type random commands, and the fastest to do it correctly can make one opponent freeze and stay visible for 3 seconds. Not really sure how this would work in game. Like, is this just a random thing that happens where you stop moving and you start typing in the chat, or is this at the start of the round? Just seems like a lot to implement and would be such a time waster and make the rounds even longer than they need to be. So I'm not a fan of this one. Next card is called Wildcard Upload, and at the start of each minute, a random shard card activates for both teams. Keep in mind, rounds are only 2 minutes long at most, so this would be a better card if it was every 30 seconds. But I do like the idea. The next card is called Rear View, and this card would allow you to see behind you and disables your ability to shoot. I don't know what the point of disabling your ability to shoot would be, but sounds like a good idea, and I wouldn't be opposed to it, just not really sure how useful this would actually be in a game. Because if you see somebody behind you, chances are you're already dead. The next card is called Communication is Key, and this one is similar to the Let Them Hear You card in that you gotta use your microphone. So if all 5 members of the team use in-game voice chat and talk at the same time, they get a movement and shooting speed buff of 25%, and as a solo player, I don't think this would ever really work because there's usually always one person that's too shy to use their microphone. The next card is Rich Quick Scheme, and this card would either lose all the shard points deposited into it or gain back double, so I assume it would be an end points card. Cool idea, kind of like the Tariff card we recently got, and wouldn't mind seeing this one added as well. The next card is called Sniper Scan, and this one immediately turned me off because it has the word sniper in it. And this would allow sniper bullets to scan the area they hit, and just no, please. I'm a firm advocate of removing snipers from the game in the first place. Just get them out of the game. We don't need more cards making them better. You need to take this card out behind the barn and fucking put it down. Secondly, there are way too many cards in the game already that scan shit. No more. The next card is Cheer Squad, and this card would allow players who have already been killed to press a button to cheer the player they're spectating, which would then in turn restore 1 HP per cheer. This is actually a really cool idea as it would keep the spectators involved in the game and could resolve that issue where your card captain just gets up and leaves to go get a drink or wherever the hell they go and ends up not picking cards the next round. The next card is called Card Randomizer, and this would pick just a random card from the deck. Sounds like a 3 shard point card, and you could get screwed here or you could end up making out like a bandit. But is a good idea, definitely bring that one to the game. Then the last card is called Trickster, and this card would give you a 10% damage boost for 2 seconds when you do a 360. Again, we don't need this. This isn't fucking Call of Duty. We don't need these brain-rotted little cocksuckers trying to 360 no-scope off the top of a box down mid for a minimal gain of 10% damage boost because they fucking suck. And then they'll sit there and try to defend it as worth it when called out for it. We don't need it. But that's the last of the cards. I submitted a card myself a while back called Scrambled, where all Lancer abilities for the round would just be randomized, meaning if you're Zephyr, you could have Kismet's abilities. If you're Broker, you could have Nitro's abilities. It would just make for a wild time. But sadly, I guess it didn't get picked in this round. But how do you feel about the ones that did get picked? These 15 finalists, plus the previous 10 that we already went over in the last video? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss the next 25 finalists and the voting when it starts on May 21st. And I'll catch you in the next one.